Okay, just to give YouTube the impression that I'm actually streaming, so it stops giving me fucking like issues. Anyway, we're in the preamble to the stream. I'm getting all my affairs in order. Yeah, we're doing a random one tonight, guys. I told you yesterday that we're not. This is not a joke. I'm not joking. Like, I'm back, guys, for real. I literally, like, I'm not a college student who has to use that as an excuse for why he's not on the internet anymore. I'm an adult now. LOL. Meaning, if I'm not online, I have a job. And if I don't have a job, I'm online. So, we back. We're mainly back, not necessarily because I'm unemployed. That's one reason. We're back because this is the season to be back, bro. And plus, my employment situation will change very soon. I'm fairly certain of that. That's the thing. Never let these people put you in a position where you feel like you need them. They need you. It's always the other way around. It is never a matter of like you need them. Even if you might starve for a bit, your dignity as a human being is more important. Like, yeah, capitalism says that you're not worth shit unless you make enough to eat, but you don't necessarily need to listen to them when they tell you that. There's plenty of ways to get what you need from the world without being of the world or in it. Oh my god. Let's see. Hey, what's up, folks? Yeah, no, it's another late night one. If you haven't started yet, I'm waiting till I see some more comments. Waiting till the concurrent viewers hops up a little bit. We've got a few conversations to have tonight. I think I might have them by myself unless somebody wants to hop in and discuss this shit with me. But we're gonna be talking a bit about the piracy situation, the anti-piracy situation. I did some research on what Trixie was talking to me about yesterday when it comes to what is it called? When it comes to the situation with what was that? When it comes to the Dirty Pairs Right Stuff Crunchyroll thing. Yeah, I did a bit more looking at that, and I have some stuff to talk about there as well. So we've got a few things to get into tonight. And of course, as usual, it's our every stream proclamation to destroy anime YouTube. So be sure to tune in very shortly. Once you hear the video boy music, you know I'm about to do the AKA, so just hang tight for that. Anyway. Man. Oh, in completely unrelated news, I met a girl and she's perfect, like in every necessary way. It's wild because like you'll have such set in your ways approaches and mindsets towards just life, the world, the opposite gender, etc. And then you meet somebody who dispels all that shit, and you're just like, fuck, man, I gotta be a, I gotta be a wholesome, self-actualized human adult now because I don't want to let this slip through my fingers. But yeah, anyway, viewer count starting to hop up a little bit. Folks are starting to realize I'm here. That's good. Meaning, it's about time that y'all know what's coming. Hold on. Just realized something. Yeah, I just realized something. Okay, there we go. All right. Anyway, it's about time, and we begin, as we always mean, to proceed. Konkai wa choreto desu ne. How's everybody doing, guys? Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, 9-0, aka Q-Ray, aka the Human Life Machine, the Hot Take Intellectual, Nigerian Dandara, Lil Heart Attack, Ieyasu Tokuganja, the Omega Architect, the Unkillable Uncancelled, the Nigerian Night Skin Shinobi hidden in the leaf smoke, aka how has he not been signed yet off of this fucking fire, aka I don't pay for my Crunchyroll, I got people for that, aka you know what, I'm taking the song of this video, of this song, I'm making it an aka the video boy, LOL, who the fuck you thought this was, aka Charles Spasnable, aka that kid from Too Many Places to Count, aka Mr. Black and Platinum. Y'all already know what the fuck this is, y'all already know who the fuck I am, you already know what the fuck going on. Tonight's gonna be fun. We're not gonna stream for 6 hours like yesterday. I'm only gonna be here for like an hour or two. Then I might need to go to bed. But for the time being, I'm taking questions. I'm taking thoughts. If there's anybody who knows me, who's up, anyone who's a friend of mine, don't be silly. But if you're a friend of mine and you have my Discord and you know me, I'm totally cool with letting people who aren't like in the scene on tonight. So yeah, you know, oh my gosh, you know, it used to feel horrible, but it used to feel horrible when I wasn't able to get certain things to work the way I wanted them to. But now they do. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Like, for example, the input-output monitor. Let me just hold on for a second, guys. You know what? Hold on for a second, guys. We're gonna play some 9-0 music while I sort out some technical issues. So, Ian, you are fucking mental for this one. Just let you know that right now. Watching out 'cause the rhyme sound shady. Watching out 'cause the rhyme sound shady. Watching out 'cause the rhyme sound shady. List the battles one is give or take around 80. Sweet up Persephone to drop that crown Hades. Now I'm sitting in his throne getting lit down daily. 9 grabs the mic and all the haters get rabies. 9 grabs the mic and all the ladies get babies. 9 grabs the mic and blows holes in the ozone with old school flows like the Tigris and you flickies. Do a show in Tokyo, make the heads a little spin. Post a clip on Nico Doga for my Otakin. Use it as the proof to all my brothers we supposed to win. Not bad for a Kokujin. Realizing that's a rubbish song to leave y'all with. Someone's texting me. But realizing that's a rubbish song to leave y'all with. Ooh, Midori just texted me. Midori, if you're listening, cho daisuki ne. Cho aishiteru ne. Anyway, what I was saying, this is a better one to leave y'all with. Man's trying to see Henry Kissinger hang over 100 bands, racing the new grounds. Man stays missing them lands when the net wasn't all just scans. Feels like one of these days man's gonna get big, put the game in the wrist lock. But first me fist this spring light, don't wanna look dusty on the TikTok. How in the world did we let Cobra take us a bit of the kids start beef? Bro, I don't know about you, but most of this shit don't sit right by me. The boys can't cope, the girls don't trust no one except the side tweets. The boys on how can I make it work when it should be how might we? See them struggle with labor movements. They said apocalypse coming soon. Then why try to stop us from joining unions? Just so the pockets won't stop improving. Whole nation being wrapped with inflation. People making nothing back from a day shit, but they keep trying to force loans on students. But it's fucking stupid. How can a man be content
with putting out bad content. Well, if the currency still looks mad, don't matter what's made, just matter what's spent. Spent so many days in the net trying to vent, can't throw no shade in the void. That's equivalent of trying to get great with a blade in a tent. Doesn't really make any sense. Man's trying to see Henry Kissinger hang, or 100 bands, raising the new grounds. Man stays missing them lands when the net wasn't all just scams. Feels like one of these days man's gonna get big for the game in the Rizlock.
But first let me fist this string light, don't wanna look dusty on the TikTok.
Man's trying to see Dick Cheney get leng, or 100 M, straight from the scat days. Man stays missing them friends back when it went so pretend. Feels like one of these days man's gonna get big through an emperor's new groove. But first let me finish this vid.
I know the people wanna see me on YouTube.
Hold tight on my production. Hold tight JFC settings, Atlanta settings. Black and platinum in effect and that. Yeah, check. Okay. Yeah. Young black boy with the gift of flow, with his black boy joy in a twist of throat. Used to play pod racing on 64. Now we breaks y'all's games like a missing now. It's a big bad world, better take a night. Stay away from any ghettos when you take a drive. If you don't know them streets, don't fake the hype. Or the wrong bad man may take it like reps 9 with the dash at the ATL. But his slang turns British when he facing now. Blow trees, unbothered if you hate the smell. It's prescribed and keeps me from raising hell. Catching blacked out on a mean street. No weapon on me, I'm a pacifist. 30 minutes in the White House, got a milli rocking on the black shit. Cracking shit, some my cracking shit. Spit a big loogie on your clout shades. None of you clowns about nothing. Get on this, the bluffing is your house paid. Sit inside the pocket with a simple rhythm. Switch the flow up, they allergic. New song on your SoundCloud, knowing you have already heard it. First song like the second one, and the third song like the first though. Kinda difficult to write bars when you got guys trying to murder, bro. Blicky, sticky, icky, shitty lyrics in the city you are not the king of. When they talk about your birthplace, you the last face that they bring up. Yo, I'ma show you shit down till you get on my level. I'ma leave with your crown till you get on my level. If you smile to a frank cause you ain't on my level. Just so much you can drunk you ain't on my level.
Hey, I love this one.
I'ma shut it all down till you get on my level.
Hey, I made this ages
I'ma
ago.
leave with your crown till you get on my level. Yeah, flip a smile to a frank cause you ain't on my level. Just so much you can drink cause you ain't on my level.
Level 50 on the
I'ma show you shit down till you get on my level.
Yo, oh, never mind. I didn't
I'ma leave with your crown till you get on my level.
Okay, wait, I'll catch it this time. Hold
Flip
on.
a smile to a frank cause you ain't on my level.
That's so funny. Okay, wait, hold on.
Just so much you can drink cause you ain't on my level.
Level 50 on the killer spree. No damage, I don't need a hill. Dropping magic like a villain bee. Double trigger run a meter fill. I don't need a guild.
Different class, I don't need a shield.
shield.
Running nothing but
But start a weapon, blood goes, how I lead the field.
My keyblade stay slick.
Your keyblade basic. Won't drive for on you. I don't really wanna waste it.
I don't care about this shit.
Nighttime is when the magic starts.
Still black, still platinum.
Still master of the magic cards.
Whole world of some shaky shit. Not sure what to make of it.
All I know is I'm a man of God.
Psych nigga, I'm an idiot. Psych nigga, I'm agnostic. Have faith, but I lost it. Drop kick you in the mosh pit. 901 is secret boss shit. Yes, bro, I'm a Sephiroth. I'm a ligger, will I'm a one hit, your entire squad dead. Pay to win if you're slow. Let me break it to a fast flow. Basic combo, leave your back, bro. See me record with ultimate weapons, nigga. ESP is over cash flow.
Yo, wait.
I'ma show you shit down till you get on my level.
I'm a real nerd rapper.
I'ma leave with your crown till you get on my level.
Yeah. Anyway.
If you smile to a frank cause you ain't on my level.
Anyway.
Just so much you can drink cause you ain't on my level. Yeah. I'ma shut it all down till you get on my level. Yeah. I'ma leave with your crown till you
get on my level. Yeah, okay, I think we're good on that for now. Oh, alright. How's everybody doing? Okay, wait. So, wait. Did you see, are you talking about like last night's stream? Like the stream I did literally yesterday? Right? Is that the stream you're asking me about?
Flip a smile to a frank cause you ain't on my level.
I just got a lot of fucking
just so much you can
green
drink cause
bits
you
on
ain't on my
my
level.
fucking table. These people just cleaned this.
Just so much you can drink cause you ain't on my level.
Fuck off, dude. What is wrong with
Just so much you can drink cause you ain't on my
Oh,
level.
it's bad, Jet. See this boy.
James Bond. This guy gone. Just badge everywhere. You just made the place dirty. Anyway, sorry. As I attack myself for my own lack of cleanliness. Yeah, ignore me croning and auto-tune. I was just doing that as a joke. I don't know why Omar decided to leave all of that stuff in. Jesus, wow. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Y'all know this one. Y'all are very familiar with this one. This is the last one we're playing of the night. This is the last one we're playing, and then I'm gonna get back to doing a real stream. Hold tight, Pontius Garçon, aka Side in the Club, aka just my brother Ian, cause he went so dumb on this beat, bruv. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, go. Got a different demonic energy. Telling people you blowing up in the streets. Almost all of you selling trees. I know real niggas moving that white shit. Playing to life shit. Never claim I got money or gold chain. This cool with this nice money life shit. What the fans they call it, you nice bitch? Not impressed with this white shit. Never ever put a beat in a hearse. Feature me is like a trap of the devil. Your lyrics 7 inches, rushing my level. I got myself a queen as thick as a brick. Any woman rolling, wish you a dub. No, it's flipping a 6. Shit, how much you know me? Burning tree, I got my shawty, got know me. Let the status like I'm house on her toddy. All you bitches still I ran my Murray. Through the day, you have the skill of a bitch. Shit is simple when they clean up. I'm coming full in effect. So better showing you a want to respect. I made big crowds come to see. Ching man down in his dungarees. Hey yo, ain't no MCs want the beef. I got shooters Beijing to Hungary. I get threats from Nazis on 4chan. And get beefs from nerds on the internet. And when disrespected, I dwarf man. Hey yo, that's my death note. Say your name. Macross, listen when I spray your face. Eugene jackets to the place of blaze. I turn all your mechs into paperweights. You might take a week and I take a day. And you play for play. On your paper playing, should just stage yourself in a safer lane. Hey yo, 9 don't play no. You take a bruise. Red Ranger, your Ranger who? I know major thugs, I know major crews. They get paid for drugs and major dudes. One man, you play it to one man. And it matters no. Honestly, I'm still a good rapper. I could honestly just rap tonight, for real. I would love to do that for y'all. But I feel like there's still a non-zero part of my audience that wants to hear me like talk about real stuff.
Check it.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll leave it to the chat to ask if they want me to play more of those. But for now we're gonna go back to the regularly scheduled evening. It's great being able to play music you made. Bruv, it feels good. Because guess what? Nobody can tell you shit. Nobody can tell you shit. I can play any song I put my hard work into writing lyrics for and recording and getting mixed. And no one can tell me nothing, bro. Oh, God. Because you know what? When you're an anime content creator, you get used to people being able to do whatever the fuck they want to the content you put your hard work into. Like, more so than video games, more so than movies, more so than, like, any kind of content that you make online. Being an anime content creator, you're supposed to be okay with companies doing whatever the fuck they want to your videos. Companies doing whatever the fuck they want to your content. Hey, do y'all want to see a whole video that's impossible to watch on my channel now? Are y'all interested? It's compressed to shit, right? It don't look nice anymore because I had to re-upload it to fucking Twitch. But hold on for a second, because I do still have the video. That's the funny part. I still definitely have my fucking video. Like, I still definitely have the VOD. Hold on. Home. Fuck off. I'm trying to look at my shit, bruv. Content. Collection clips. Is it clips, bruv? Yeah. No. What, bro, why is Twitch so get started? I don't care about that, bruv. Why is Twitch so annoying, G? Bro. Oh my God. Wait, can I not find the actual or copyright claims, collections, video producer? There we go. I found it. Go to VOD page. I found it. All right, guys. We're going to watch an old school 9-0 video. You lot ready? All right, calm. Watch this, yeah? Because it's a mad thing. It's really a mad thing when you think about it. Anyone who remembers this? Bro, I'm so legitimately, like, I'm not gonna name names because I'm not in the mood to cause more issues than I already have. But I will tell you, if you watch this video, look at when it came out 6 years ago, yeah? I was the first one to drop a Gridman video. And if you watch this video and you've seen any comments I make sound, I don't know, similar, ripped off, LOL from other YouTubers that you watch, that's not a coincidence. Anyway.
Trigger, it's been a weird decade for you guys. First, you sprung up out of nowhere, fully formed from the charred remains of whatever was left of the Gainax that existed before 2010. Then you dropped some strange anarchic parody of America and its action cop movies. Then, when it's time to drop your first TV anime, it's this messy, abrasive send-up of Go Nagai, Bancho culture, and your own aesthetic that you carried over from your Gainax days, all with an undercurrent of third-wave feminism of all things and Sengoku-era politics. Let's not forget, Harry Potter meets cute girls doing cute things, which for some reason was an anime that Yo-Yo Shinari was so adamant to produce he started a Kickstarter for it. You sold out, immediately unsold out, let Mario Okada get a groove on, scammed Crunchyroll's marketing team, allowed your friends next door to rope you into making garbage, and now we're here. For some reason, you've entrusted an entire television anime into the hands of arguably the biggest fanboy working in the mainstream anime industry. Akira Amemiya is all at once Imaishi's pupil and Trigger's ace in the hole superstar animator. His work goes all the way back to when he left college and started working at Gainax, and he's done cuts for pretty much any popular action show you can think of. At Anime Expo 2017, I went to Trigger's panel where they announced Darling in the Franxx and Promare, but even then, the announcement that interested me the most was a Gridman anime directed by none other than AA himself. And now that show is airing and people seem to be enjoying it. Or at least parts of it. This is interesting to me because Gridman, despite looking like Trigger's typical brand of mecha action, isn't really cut from the same cloth as pretty much anything else Trigger has done so far. It isn't a secret that SOS Goridoman is an anime adaptation of Denko Chojin Goridoman, a tokusatsu series from the mid-90s. For the uninitiated, tokusatsu is a style of Japanese film and television that comprises a very specific brand of special effects work and costuming. Things that fit into this category would be Kamen Rider, Godzilla, Garo, Power Rangers, and believe it or not, the 1970s version of Spider-Man.
I'm playing this mainly because I want it to be clear that, like, this video, do you want to know why this video is not on YouTube? Subaraya is why this video is not on YouTube. And this video got 600,000 views, yeah? And it got sniped off the channel. Not because I had anything crazy in it. Because as you're watching, I'm just using footage. It's the same shit. You're supposed to be okay. Oh, someone said right from the opening sentence, I'm already spotting some stuff stolen from by another YouTuber. Also, your Twitch is still good. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. What happened to this channel? I'm kind of lost. Wait, what do you mean what happened to this channel? Oh, sorry. What happened to this channel is I took a break because I lost a lot of love for doing it. I'm back now with the express desire to destroy the current state of things. Like, yeah, that's basically it. And what happened to this specific video? What happened to the video I'm talking about? That I'm showing y'all? This video got taken down by Subaraya to the point where you can't get it anymore. Like, let me tell you, I've never seen some shit like that before, dog. They deleted my video off YouTube, bruv. I kept trying to dispute it. They kept ignoring the dispute, and then they just said, you know what, we're deleting it off there. And you know what? It don't really matter. I have the copy still, and the video's still good, so I can show it to you lot.
Tokusatsu has a huge dedicated fandom in Japan, and it's very common for tokusatsu fans to end up working in anime. Toku's influence on the medium can be its own YouTube channel, but suffice to say that individuals like Hideaki Anno are famous for being able to translate the Ultraman style of tokusatsu action into anime form. Put a pin in that, it's gonna be fairly important later. So, Gridman. The story goes, Amamiya was in talks with Tsuburaya, the people who own Ultraman and Gridman, with the hopes to make an Ultraman anime. Tsuburaya declined, probably because they were working on their own Ultraman anime that comes out next year. But they told him that he had two other choices, Andromelos, an Ultraman spin-off that nobody outside of Japan has ever heard of, or Denko Chojin Gridman. This was also around the time that the Animator Expo was underway, so he decided to test himself by submitting Denko Chojin Gridman, Boys Invent a Great Hero, which is probably in my top 5 best Anime Expo shorts. The interesting thing about Gridman is how it's clearly taking inspiration from its Toku roots, but adapting those elements with tried and true anime techniques from the mecha genre. Many people liken Akira Amamiya's animation styling to that of Hiroyuki Imaishi, but it's painfully obvious that his real inspirations come from Masami Obari. He can tell it better than I can. Yes, I've always admired the animation style that Obari-san was doing, and that's what I want to give the world now. My wish is that future generations will draw the same kind of pictures as Obari-san did, and I hope that all that could reach Obari-san in some way. You've got to love the guy. He's pretty much saying he wants this style of animation to never die out. Legends respect legends. Seeing as the anime has only been airing for a few weeks, there isn't a whole lot to dissect so far, but what I can speak for is that the anime has pretty strange directing. There are moments in the show where I've stopped and rewatched it to make sure if something wasn't wrong with my video encoder. There's these really long, deliberate pauses for comedic effect, and some smaller moments that get given the same suspenseful camera work and sound design that you'd find in a horror movie.
I'm just a better YouTuber than these niggas, dog. When I'm on my Dean and I decide to actually make a video, I am a better YouTuber than these niggas. I don't need to do a lot to prove it. Really.
Oh, and the sound design in general is nuts. All the sounds feel like they came straight out of an episode of Ultraman, and according to Amamiya himself, some of the sounds actually did. The non-kaiju moments of the show are by far some of Trigger's best character work. These designs are gorgeous, even if the vibrant hair colors of the main cast lead to the odd main character syndrome moment. It's only been 3 episodes, but the anime has done a sterling job letting the audience in on only the most key of details. What's going on? Boy can't remember stuff. Who's she? Girl whose house he wakes up in. What's going on? Ask the robot dude. Even the dialogue has this punchy charm to it. Nobody in the show feels artificial. Even the murderous kaiju controlling waifu has this fun and bouncy air to her. But the action scenes is where the show's really been impressing me. I'll admit, I'm not a fan of how CG gets implemented in most anime, but Trigger got really clever here and I applaud them for it. Let me explain. The CG moments of the show are outsourced to Ichiro Otano's CG animation company, Studio Grafnica. Itano explicitly said that he wanted the kaiju to move like they had a person inside them, kind of the way kaiju do in old tokusatsu. This, coupled with Gridman's super deliberate but weighty motions, makes the CG come across as less of a crutch and more of a mechanism to give it that little more Toku authenticity. The only other anime I can think of that pulls off a similar visual style is Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that's where that pin was. See, that show also had weighty mechanical beings with very deliberate movement, which is why I've always felt like Eva is more of a Toku-esque show than people give it credit for, at least people in the West. Even then, when Gridman breaks back into its 2D animation, the poses and motions are packed with the exact same dynamism you'd expect from any other Trigger or Gainax anime. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the Obari influences, which are damn near indistinguishable from animation cuts actually done by the man himself at times. Gridman is shaping up to be my flat-out favorite anime produced by Studio Trigger. This brand of taking an old style of Japanese nerd ephemera and sprucing it up with a new coat of paint, all the while retaining and building off of the iconography it's borrowing from, is the foundational ethos of shows like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and it's really cool to see it live on in a show like Gridman, especially since, unlike Gurren Lagann, Gridman is borrowing from media that I actually grew up on. I watched Ultraman and Power Rangers growing up, and so far this is the closest I've seen any anime get to this vibe since the second rebuild of Evangelion movie. I just hope Trigger can stick the landing.
And they did!
This video was
They stuck the landing for 2 seasons. I would have made more videos about that if I had any patience or confidence that Subaraya, 1, wouldn't just snipe my video, and 2, that even if Subaraya didn't snipe my video, that some other bigger YouTuber wouldn't just eat everything I said in it. Like, for real, dog. One of the reasons I quit is because of shit like that. One of the reasons I quit is because, like, it's so demoralizing. It is. And it's so easy to be the guy who looks like none of this shit bothers them. I could look like Demo. If you wanted me to, I could put on that act. But let me tell y'all, it's an act. Because unlike y'all, I've talked to Demo. You get me? He cares less about this shit than I do because he intentionally from jump, folks treated him a certain way. So he knew to move a certain way, which is why you never saw him move with the larger community. You get me? Like, if y'all want me to be Demo, I can be Demo. I can be quiet, I can disappear, and I can just drop when I drop. But I that's not my natural state. That's not my natural state. My natural state is this. Speaking to you how I feel. Like, it's a matter of, and it's less even that, right, that these are people who are stealing people's content. And it's not just me. But it's less of that people are stealing folks' content. It's less that people are like stealing folks like ideas. And it's more that like if you wanted to, you have my Discord. If you know that you're making a video about something I just dropped a video on. Everyone knows we're both YouTubers. But what people don't know is that you have my contact info. So when you do that shit, it makes it look like I'm okay with it. And on top of that, the reason I'm making such a big deal out of this now is because I'm gonna start making videos again soon. So if I show y'all this Gridman video, and I haven't said names, I'm not going to say names. People have already said names in the comments, right? But I want it to be so clear to the people who like to do this, because it's been a common occurrence. Some from people who like me and who just like my shit and know better, and then they apologize afterwards, right? Certain Irish gentleman did that once, and me and him chopped it up, and he's been a brother to me ever since, right? But there's other ones in this community, yeah, who know that they've got a problem with me. They know they talk shit about me. They know they question the things I say about anime. They know they question the things I say about nerd media, nerd culture. They question my intelligence about this shit. And then they steal from me. Dog, When I say it's time to stop you lot from eating, I'm going to be real with you. It's only 40% from a place of wanting better for anime. The rest of the 60 is spite. I think that's been clear so far. The rest of the 60, let me tell you, is spite. Piss and fucking vinegar. But yeah, that was that one video. Cause like, man. Oh, Trixie just dropped a fucking 2-hour video talking about Osamu Tezuka. I will click on that later. Can you drop some specific titles you consider to be boutique anime? Drop some specific titles? Hold on for a second. Drop some specific titles. Give me a second. Guys, y'all remember that one, like, do y'all remember the thing I made when I started the boutique anime conversation? Well, bro, I still have it. It's still right here. You want a quick look at boutique anime? You want to look at boutique anime as of last year? It's all right here. And on top of that, not only do we have the boutique anime, I made a little key for you on how boutiques are being set up. So 1, the creator's popular. 2, it's based on a popular out of medium property. 3, it's a sequel or prequel to a series the West liked. 4, Jason DeMarco wanted it. And 5, expanding a non-traditionally anime series' world building. I'm just gonna leave it on this page for a bit because you had a question and this page answers it. 9's list of boutique anime. There's 13 series. I could probably add more. I could probably definitely add more. Spy X Family was on the list. I changed it because it is a boutique kind of, but it does not fall into the rules of the most common boutiques. Kaiju number 8. No, because okay, guys. Let us not now. No, because this is an important thing we're making a mistake of. We need to really deep ask this question of ourselves. Are we ready to just call most modern shonen adaptations boutique anime? Right? Are we ready to call most modern shonen adaptations boutique anime? Because if we're not, then that, like, the line of reasoning y'all are using kind of can't be discussed. You get me? Because let's go down the list of the new shonen that are coming out that have boutique qualities. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is one. We would have to accept JJK, even though JJK actually yes, most modern day shonens are boutique, and in fact, you want to know the beautiful thing about that fact? Especially most shonen Jump adaptations are gonna be boutique now, and that's just the way it is. Like Dan Da Dan kind of has that air to it. Sakamoto Days is it's like both Sakamoto Days and Dan Da Dan are literally Netflix exclusive. You get me? And it's mostly shonen Jump stuff that is Netflix exclusive like that nowadays. Demon Slayer kind of has that boutique quality to it. And we can't The reason I don't like calling modern shonen boutique, right, is because the qualities of boutique anime kind of denote like it didn't exist before the streaming ecosystem. That's like a very big part of it. It's kind of, this is a very clear difference. But the thing is, it's still at the same time, I'm hurting my own argument when I say that, because modern day, this is how I learn things when I'm by myself. I'm an only child, so I had to learn how to do dialectical argumentation with myself. That's literally how I've learned how to like reason out ideas. And I do these streams so y'all can hear me do that in real time. So one thing I will say is, even if we're going with that first argument of like boutique is meant to be the modern face of something that's existed already, boutique anime is the modern face of the filter. I'm realizing what it is. Boutique anime is the modern version of the filter, except the filter, instead of just, I figured it out, oh my God, instead of the filter just picking shows, now the filter is making shows. Jesus. Oh wow, I'm smart. I'm joking. LOL. Anyway, but yeah, no. Instead of the filter being the apparatus of Western producers choosing what gets released on Western televisions, now that filter has the capacity to make anime. Those forces have the capacity to make anime. Right? So if that's the case, we need to look at what those forces were doing before the streaming economy. And before the streaming economy, those forces were taking the most popular shit and putting it on American TV. Naruto was on American TV. Bleach was on Adult Swim. You know, that's how we had a big three in the first place. Hold on for a second. Let me... Sorry about that. I had to help a friend out with something. But as I was saying, okay, I finally reached a breakthrough on this whole boutique anime situation. Boutique anime is anime made by the filter. And then I will have to explain what the filter is. And the filter is essentially the Western apparatus of deciding how anime gets sent into the Western media ecosystem. Right? And I'll explain to y'all why I care so much about this. And fine, we're going to break the veil. We're going to break the veil. We're going to break the veil for a second. And I'm going to be very, very directly honest with y'all. Y'all can clip this. Y'all can go fucking fearmonger about my content if you want. I don't really care. Y'all can go portray me as any kind of person you want. Y'all know I'm a political person. Y'all know I have a very distinct idea and ideology when it comes to how I see the world. And for those of you that don't and are hearing me talk about politics in such clear and distinct terms for the first time, I will tell you, I could be classified as something left-wing. Sure, for the purposes of the American audience, let's say, yes, I have strong left-wing politics, right? But at the same time, my politics take me to a place of understanding that the West, right, as a construct, as a social construct, as a socially constructed space of human existence, must be destroyed. It must die. It must be burned to a fucking crisp. And I will do everything within my power to do so. And unfortunately, that power isn't very vast. That power is very, very, limited. I'm just one small bean who likes Japanese cartoons. But something liking Japanese cartoons has taught me is Japan's strange level of importance in global geopolitics. Japan really matters, dog. Japan really matters, bro. Like, Japan really matters. And when I say Japan really matters, is like, if there were, like, literally the next stage of whatever the world becomes, Japan's going to be a big part of it. Either a big part in why it happened through them not being here anymore, or a big part of how it exists. Mainly because, I'm sorry to tell y'all, and the reason I've been prepping y'all with this Dio Otaku shit, the reason I've been prepping y'all with all of this, is because the Asian century is upon us. You get me? I know I sound like a crank. I sound like a Negroid Jimmy Dore. And as much as I love Jimmy Dore, I'm joking. But as much as that's how I love sounding, as much as I love sounding, hey, no Ninja Kamui, fucking naysaying in my chat. We like Ninja Kamui here. We're not afraid of robot suits here, you fucking nerds. I'm not afraid of a ninja show turning into a tokusatsu, because that's actually real anime, you fucking nerds. But sorry, back to the argument of Japan really matters. We're about to head into an Asian century, and what that means if you like anime and Japanese cartoons and Japanese video games and the stuff we're into. What that means if you're a person living within the West who has eaten the fruit of the East, right? Well, all my fellow fruit eaters, this is where I start sounding a bit cult-like. It's where I start sounding a bit like insane. I'm joking. I really, please don't take too much of what I'm saying seriously, but take this part, right? Take this part of where I'm going with this fairly clearly. The reason I harp on stuff like boutique anime, the corporate consolidation of anime YouTube, the direction that like the direction of Western media influence in like Asian media, right? The reason I harp on that stuff is because I will not let the West use the East to save itself. If I can say something or do something about that, I will. I will not allow the fruit and labor of people who this part of the world has done nothing to help, has done nothing but demean and disparage. I will not let y'all crackers come into anime and start trying to eat. Sorry, someone just texted me. But yeah, as I was saying, I ain't letting y'all crackers try and come into anime and try to eat. And that applies to the VTubers. That applies to you man them making indie games that are stealing and just running up and picking an anime style, not knowing shit about anime, just to get a quick buck. That applies to all of you fucking pseudo-orientalist fucks that are trying to make a buck off this shit without truly being about this shit. All of you are getting the fuck out of here. Does boutique mean bad automatically? I like Ninja. Okay, I need y'all to get into the habit, right, of being able to label something being able to label something, understand that that label has negative connotations and means something negative in a grand scheme, but divorce what that label means for the actual quality of the thing itself. I.e., me, I'm a Nepo baby, right? We all know what that means. That's not something anybody wants to be called. But you know something? I'm perfectly fine accepting that I am one. Would you like to know why? Because I know I'm not interested in what most other Nepo babies are interested in. I'm not interested in furthering capitalism. I'm not interested in furthering the situations and perspectives that got my life here. You get me? Like, same applies to somebody like Hassan. Not saying that I'm like him, right? Yeah. Like, so you can look at anime, you can look at a boutique anime and say, damn, that's a fucking good show. In fact, let me tell you something. I don't think I dislike anything on this fucking list. I really don't. Actually, Ruby Ice Queendom is very But there is nothing on, even Parrot Princess was fire. Like, there is nothing bad. There are bad boutiques. I didn't put any of them up here. But specifically, I didn't put any bad boutiques up here. None of these shows are bad shows. And if you like Ruby, you're gonna like Ice Queendom. So, FLCL is peak, but it's definitely boutique. Oh, absolutely. The FLCL sequels are absolutely boutique. All of them. If it wouldn't exist without the desire of the Western fandom represented with Western producers going to Japan to go get it made, then it's not a boutique. Which is why it's difficult for me to call Shonen Jump adaptations boutique. But I have to accept something about Shonen Jump and about shonen as a genre in the ecosystem of anime, that like they operate on different rules, dog. Like, shonen operates on different rules. Like, you can make a super Japanesey fucking series, and if it just so happens to bang in Shonen Jump, it doesn't really matter, you know? Like, let me tell you, do you think I thought Kimetsu no Yaiba was gonna do what it did? That show becoming popular let me know that the seal was broken, and that we were in an era where like anything Japanese can pop. Anything Japanese can pop. Anything. Because that series is so fucking Japan, bro. That series is like, that would not have made it cross the filter in the 90s. That's what I'm talking about. Can someone define boutique for me? It's kind of annoying that I still... Okay. We're doing the whole shtick now again, because a boutique is a storefront, right? The boutique is a storefront. The storefront in the sense of items placed in a boutique, unlike something like, you know, a department store, or unlike something like an actual just, you know, clothing store that you regularly go in. A boutique is meant to have all of its biggest, best items facing you from the outside and facing you on all the walls when you enter inside. If you've ever been to like a real fashion boutique, there's no back room. There's no back room. It's all there. It's all the stuff that they have is there. It's all in sight. That's the key part of what a fashion boutique is. Now, when you translate this, the storefront, when you translate this to media, the storefront is the streaming ecosystem. It's High Dive, it's Crunchyroll, it's Netflix. It's specifically Netflix. But the reason I call them boutique anime is because unlike a department store anime, which is, say, I don't know, fucking the new Monogatari season, that's a trusted brand that's not necessarily super well known, but the people who know about it definitely go shop there and will get what they want, and it's gonna be there, and it's always been there, and it has cultural purchase and cachet. Versus the stuff they put right on the window in a boutique, which is the newest, flashiest thing that the biggest name in fashion is working on right now. You get what I'm saying? Are y'all understanding where I'm going? Boutique anime is trying to sell you a brand, not a piece of art. Thank you. Boutique anime, in my mind, is anime that won't scare the hoes. That too, we can do that as well. There's a lot of different... Netflix is a prime boutique. Thank you. Y'all know, y'all are beginning to... finally. You know, I should have been doing more of these specific streams about this specific topic a lot more, because this whole boutique anime conversation, like, folks aren't gonna know what it is until it's too late. Folks aren't gonna know how to discuss this. I mean, it's technically already too late. Like last year was too late, if you get what I'm saying. Last year when I made the first stream about this was already too late. Now we're reaching critical mass. But by the time folks realize this, the industry will already be, like, anime will already look different completely as an industry before people realize what's going on. You get me? And my argument here is these shows are requiring way more out of they're requiring way more out of the stuff. This is where I get brought to JJK. Yeah, I heard you saying stuff about this in your last stream, and I zeroed in on this idea in a big way. I understand. Yeah. I had a whole full stream about it, like in 2023. Not gonna lie, Leo Otakuism is the perfect time to explain my beef for people who talk about Japanese media. Bro! I'm receiving followers. My disciples are beginning to understand what I'm saying. I feel like I get it, guys. I talk a lot, and like it's tough to follow the strain sometimes. But y'all like my accent, and y'all know I'm funny, and I'm just a fun person to listen to. But I want y'all to understand I'm more than just that. You get me? Like, I have actual stuff to tell you. I have actual ways I want people to move in this fandom that will improve things. And that's why I named the stream, Let's Give It Up for the High Seas. Because really, especially after today, with the purges of streaming sites that have been happening, especially after today with the purges of streaming sites that have been happening, I can definitely tell you a storm is coming, boys. Like, Japan has realized that they are within grasp of what they've always wanted. A Western internet that kowtows to their demands on how they interact with their products. Now, my argument here is that I don't necessarily think the creators in Japan care so much because they've already been paid meagerly. LOL. No, that's a lot of people. After hearing you can go this spin on this shit. Yeah, I've been Trixie's friend for a long time, and a great thing about them is like being friends with them, living the way I used to, understanding otaku culture the way I used to, and then like becoming a fan of theirs and then a friend of theirs. It completely changed. I think you can notice it changed the way the ones who have followed me for a long time can notice that like my relationship with them changed a lot of how I approached anime, right? I simultaneously became a lot less like elitist in the old school way and a lot more embracing of the specific idiosyncrasies that brought me into this medium. Because I realized that like I'm not here to chase a canon of acceptable anime that people like. I'm here to find what makes me happy. And I learned that from being friends with Trix. Or at least I learned how to apply that to anime from being friends with Trix. Definitely wasn't going to learn it from Econ. Current Twitter really got out of hand, and now discussions for Japanese media are just awful in general. Which is why, okay. Y'all heard about the Kishimoto shit with people trying to paint him as a nonce. And my thing is, right, this is such a stupid topic. This is so dumb. I just want everyone to know how dumb this is before we get into it. I want to iterate how stupid I find the topic I'm about to discuss. So there was some kind of mistranslation in an interview where Kishimoto basically called Sarada sexy. And the thing is, right? Yeah, like so the mistranslation was where they said that they painted it out to be that like Kishimoto was calling Sarada like sexy, like an attractive character that he would want to bang. But my thing is, yeah, even okay. Now, because it's one of those things where like when Miyazaki does it, it's okay, right? LOL. Because Miyazaki, when creators talk about their characters they wrote, and I'm telling you this as someone who writes, even when the character is underage, like their attractiveness as a quality is a thing that you're thinking about. Not for your own purposes, that like, oh, I want to bang this character. No. I'll explain, like, on a storytelling level, let me tell you why you would think about the attractiveness of a 15-year-old. Because you're writing other 15-year-olds that have to interact with them. Right? And the way they look as a character is going to matter in the way the other characters you're writing that are her age are interacting with them. This is how we tell stories. So when you catch me in an interview and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I ended up really liking her. I loved her design. I thought she was really hot. And I'm talking about like a 15-year-old character I wrote in my series. It behooves you as a media savvy, like literate, educated person to know that I'm not saying I want to fuck a character the same age as the one that I wrote. You get me? Oh my God. This is ridiculous shit, bro. Like, and I want you to understand, I'm only approaching this, right, from the perspective of if what was said that he said was what was said, but it came out that that's not even what he said, mate. That's not even what he said, bruv. What? No one wants to do critical thinking about this shit anymore. I mean, craziest thing was seeing One Piece niggas do Kishimoto. Like, yo, I don't want to hear what. Like, can I be vindicated now in saying that One Piece niggas, like, what One Piece fans as a whole, in the vast majority of One Piece fans, should honestly go the way of Ace, for real, because y'all niggas are weird. Y'all are weird, strange people. You have a strange inferiority complex about your goofy cartoon-looking series that you take out on everybody else, and it exposes itself in situations like this one. Just because your guy don't know how to end his series and is dragging you lot through his mess for fucking 4 decades and change, LOL. You lot are gonna have grandchildren when he decides to let you know what the One Piece is. You stupid fucks. Y'all niggas is y'all niggas is gonna be writing y'all's wills. y'all is gonna be deciding which of your children gets what when you find out what the One Piece is. LOL. I watched the first 40 episodes of One Piece. I thought it was great, and then dropped it and never looked back. That was enough for me. I played. Hey, y'all want to know? Y'all want to know my experience? I played One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, and I played through the whole story, and I like Trafalgar Law. That's all I know about One Piece. LOL. That's all I know about One Piece. I like Trafalgar Law. That's about it. I like Zoro. I like Trafalgar Law, and I like what's that one's name? Is his name? It's not S Hawk, is it? He's in the same group as S Hawk? No, it is S Hawk. Yeah, I like S Hawk. Those are the only characters I like. I like Zoro, and I'm sure y'all are seeing the pattern in the characters I like. I like Zoro, I like Trafalgar Law, and I like S Hawk. That's it. No one else. S Hawk is sick. S Hawk is is like that's me in One Piece. Not Mihawk, S Hawk, the clone of Mihawk. The dark skin brown Gyaru clone of Mihawk. The whole Shonen Civil War is funny to me. Ew, no, Eustace Kid sucks. Fuck that bitch. Fuck Eustace Kid, bro. Hey yo, fuck that nigga. LOL, y'all. I'm sorry. That's another reason I don't like One Piece. The characters that the fans of One Piece like suck to me, bro. They're all dickheads. I hate Doflamingo. I hate Luffy. Sorry, Midori just texted me, and you know that takes primacy. Anyway, Jesus. I'm sorry, dog. The less time you spend online, the less time psychopathic people see. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even online like that. I'll put it this way: Jimmy's not online like that. But unfortunately, y'all don't get to talk to y'all get to call me Jimmy, but you're not talking to Jimmy when I'm up here. You're talking to Nino, and Nino's always online. Nino's always online. That's the unfortunate thing. Whenever I'm online, Nino's who you're talking to. Not a single one of you have ever, unless you've met me in Meat Space, none of you have spoken to Jimmy. Unless you've talked to me on the phone outside of the internet, like on like a phone call or on like a Discord call. None of you've talked to Jimmy. Only person you've spoken to is Nino. And Nino don't give a fuck about what none of y'all stupid ass One Piece niggas like, bro. Y'all suck. Bad taste. MHA fans are also interesting. MHA fans, I like to leave them alone. I don't like to give them a hard time. Because I feel like their series gives them a hard enough time. That's one of them ones. Like, there's certain man them where you leave them alone because their series is giving them a hard enough time. Like, as a JJK fan, folks should know to leave JJK fans alone. The series is giving them a hard enough time, dog. Like, my thing is, it's bare other good shonen that are running right now that have fairly big online fan bases in the West that like niggas leave alone. Like the Elusive Samurai man them, niggas leave them alone. The Kagurabachi man them, niggas leave us alone. The fucking the what's her name? The Nura's Exorcist man them. People leave them alone. MHA fans are children who don't know how to move on. Hey, look, man, that's who y'all Naruto fans were until Boruto dropped. So don't start with them. Don't even. I'm not about to allow that. Chainsaw Man fans and Bleach fans just chilling. You have to understand, Bleach fans, right? Okay, I'll speak so people ask me which of the big three was I like the biggest on. It was Bleach. Me, like, I have to be so clear. Like, the colors I use should let you know it was Bleach. Like, what colors are you seeing on screen right now? Those are Bleach colors, bruv. You get me? So, what I'm saying, yeah, is that as someone who's been on the Bleach tick for years, like, I've been on the Bleach guide, like, you know, guide to the Soul Society. I've been on that road for a long time. It were always like this, bruv.
I'm gonna tell you now, it weren't always like this. We used to be the butt of the joke in the community. Like especially in the last like 5 years of Bleach running, we were like the butt of the joke in the Western anime community. Oh, we were the butt of the like, and it's like, and the thing is, one reason I hate One Piece, and I'll tell you a reason I hate One Piece, and they'll tell you that they'll tell you who they are. Some of the biggest One Piece dick riders are people who jumped on the One Piece bandwagon when Bleach started being when Kubo started making dodgy decisions that looked odd week to week. But one thing that I didn't like, okay, one thing y'all nerds need to learn, right? There's mangaka. Oh, because this is something that, like, learning this as an adult, I was like, oh my God, he was always playing a better game. He always knew how his series was going to be viewed in the long run. But, like, all of these other mangaka were writing, and they would let the pressure of the week-to-week grind get to them, where they would, like, tweak the story to need it to act a certain way week to week. Kubo, I think from the point the Arrancar arc started is when he kind of solidified in this approach to his series. But Kubo, from the Arrancar arc on, he wrote for the tankobon. He wrote for the volume. He did not give a fuck about the week-to-week reception. He only cared about what it did as a tankobon. And his tankobon volumes used to fucking sell out, bruv. You get me? He used to do serious tankobon. The only series that would touch him in tankobon volumes, even when Bleach was at the bottom. The reason folks still called them let me actually fucking break something down for you. The reason folks still called them the big three is because even when you broke down everything at the end of the day, Bleach's tankobon volumes never dropped. Because Kubo wrote for the tank. He structured his story to be consumed as a whole novel. He didn't do it as a week-to-week epic, the way he was expected to for the purpose of the medium he was in. You get me? Which is why I think the next series that both Horikoshi and Gege make is going to be very interesting to observe, because they're going to be taking ideas and thoughts that they got from that dinner that they had with Kubo. And one thing I'm sure Kubo told them, a few things I'm sure Kubo told them was, one, the importance of breaks, which is probably why they both ended their series not long after the dinner. And two, Kubo definitely probably told them the importance of the tankobon, you know, like the importance of writing for the tank. But yeah, and they are some of the most beautiful volumes. Yeah, exactly. Never really hated on Bleach, but I know what you're talking about. If JJK or One Piece fans look in Sakamoto Days general direction, I'm sending them the she's busy little bro text all of that. LOL. I think another fandom that suffers is Hunter x Hunter, but for different reasons. What again? I don't talk shit on mandem whose series is paining them. You get me? I'm not gonna talk shit on somebody whose series is giving them a hard time. Like, I'm not gonna talk shit on somebody whose series is giving them a hard time. Oh my gosh. My little green heart. It's been a mean start. I like the witch bit. I love the queen half. All right, let's talk. If Gege's gonna pull a Fujimoto, I'm done with JJK. Wait, no, I think Gege's gonna pull a Fujimoto with JJK, not gonna lie. End it and then restart it? Probably. LOL. I guess. I don't really... Like, okay. let me tell you where I'm at with Gege. I'll tell y'all where I'm at with JJK and Gege and the way he writes and his series. He has earned, in my eyes, he has earned the place as Kubo's successor as a writer. Maybe not as an artist, but definitely as a writer. In my mind, he has earned his place as Kubo's successor. And because of that, I don't make speculation about his series. Does that make sense? Have you noticed how I've never speculated about anything Bleach related? I only make jokes about Bleach. I only make Bleach jokes. I don't speculate because I know speculation is not. You don't speculate about stuff, man. Like you don't speculate on terrorist stuff, dog. A terrorist is not a person you speculate on the work of. You can speculate on Kishimoto. You might be like, all right, how's that gonna shake out? Because he's gonna approach things from like a classical lens, right? You can speculate on Oda stuff because Oda set stuff up ages back for you to speculate on. You get me? But with Bleach and with JJK, the reason I don't speculate is because like them niggas set stuff up for you to speculate on just to fuck you over. So I don't do that. You get me? I'm not ever gonna speculate on what. None of y'all could have speculated how Shibuya ended. Oh, please go tell me that's how you thought it would end. Please tell me that's how you thought it would end. Y'all niggas thought the gang was gonna get Gojo out. Oh, don't act fucking brand new. Y'all niggas thought the gang was gonna go get Gojo out and they were all gonna go fucking put an end to them and the villains would escape and everybody would fucking figure it out at the end and then they would back up and like set up for the next big fight in the no, that's not how Gege decided to go. Is it? No. Cause he decided to throw the logic of typical shonen manga out the fucking window. And I'm not going to speculate on the work of a man like that. That's not who I don't try and get. I'm not going to try and guess what the Joker does. Please. That's a waste of time. Just watch him. Just watch him. He'll show you. Just watch him. He'll show you. Jeez. I'm not going to speculate. It's whatever at this point. LOL. I'm not going to speculate on the terrorist behavior. Just watch him. He'll show you. That's why at this point, I'm just reading JJK as it comes. Like, even last week, spoilers, Nobara's alive. So, like, even last week when I saw that, I was just like, I threw my hands up like, that's not the choice I would have made, but he did it. So, I wasn't, anyway. I didn't think Yuji would get his kill stolen by his mom. Yuji ultimately lost a lot. LOL. We'll get JJK 2 like 6 years later after he makes his idol manga on Jump Plus. He probably will. It's like when people try to guess what Fujimoto will do, and Fujimoto's also reached there. Fujimoto's reached there, but not because he's a successor to Kubo, but because he's trying to write a seinen manga in Shonen Jump, and he knows to do that he can't follow the rules of shonen. So that's why like Gege and Fujimoto are doing the same thing but in different ways. Gege is doing the shonen version of being a terrorist. Fujimoto's doing the seinen version within a shonen manga. Which is both of those. There's no point in trying to guess what either of those niggas is gonna write, bro. Just be happy that they haven't. Just be happy they haven't been cancelled yet. I mean, Total coming in late. The game was like, Total coming in late. The game was like, yeah, exactly. Why would you? None of us was going. I stopped trying to guess or speculate. Like, actually, I will say I did exactly predict what Yuta's domain would be. If I was like making content, because there's some friends of mine who I did say like Yuta's domain is probably gonna be a space where like every single curse technique that he's ever stolen
is gonna have like a surefire attack, and it's probably gonna take the form of like a weapon, like a sword or something. And that's literally like unlimited curse works, bro. Unlimited curse blade works. Crazy shit. It's unlimited blade works is so easy to steal. It's such an easy idea. Bro, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck the environment. I'm about to open a Bankai pocket dimension where there's a bunch of swords. My nigga, how is there not like 20 series where that's the gimmick? LOL. You could write a whole series around a character with that gimmick. Fate doesn't even use that gimmick to its fullest potential, bro. Like, come on. Fujimoto is a man who hates life but has the decency to keep malice in his manga. I mean, gotta give Gege props for making a cool power system. I learned something very important from not just Gege but from the Joshiraku, the Jigoku. I was about to say Joshiraku. LOL. That's a whole different series. The Jigoku Raku guy. Yeah, I learned something from the Jigoku Raku writer that Gege also taught me as well. That the best power systems, are the loosest ones. The best power systems are the loosest ones. The less rules, the less direct rules and concrete shit you have to do to have shit in a power system, the better, really. Keyblade Graveyard is the only one I can think of. Yeah. And it was sick then too. LOL. It was sick then as well. It's a free idea. A field full of swords that we transport to. It's always a free idea. It's always a free idea, bro. I want y'all to understand. All you budding writers who want to make chuny shit, who want to make cool action shit, that's a free idea for you right there. And folks won't get sick of it either, trust me. Let me tell you why folks won't get sick of it. Because even if someone's seen it before, all you have to do is change the weapon. Change the kind of weapon, change the time of day. Just make it look different. Give it a different vibe. And you can do as many different versions of it as possible. Thank you, Dan. Solita did that shit too. Like, jeez. I said to my partner yesterday, I'd watch a show just based off Kenpachi from Bleach. I don't care. I mean, well, okay. In my opinion, you don't get the bloodthirsty main character outside of China often. China's the one who... Sorry. China's the place that is good at doing that kind of thing. The entirety of Shinjuku Showdown showed me that Gege wanted Yuta as the real protagonist. I mean, I don't know if I said this to Trixie yesterday, but it's very clear. Yeah, no, I said this to some other friends. Anyone who's familiar with JJK0, right? So if you're not familiar, if you've seen JJK0, or if you've heard of it, or if you know what JJK0 is, you know, the thing that's Yuta's backstory, right? That was the one shot that Gege submitted to Shonen Jump to get. Like, he submitted that as the one shot to start the series, which ended up becoming Jujutsu Kaisen. Does that make sense? Like, Gege started Jujutsu Kaisen with Yuta as the main character. So, in my mind, sorry, my fucking nose is annoying me. The funniest thing about JJK is that, for all intents and purposes, it was supposed to be about a thinly veiled Shinji Ikari analog dealing with cursed spirits. And in my mind, if you wanted to make that manga and then you make a character like Yuji, that was editorial oversight. There ain't nothing you can tell me. Yuji's a character created from editorial oversight. Some editor at Jump told him, you cannot have a Shinji Ikari as a main character in the Shonen Jump series. That is not going to fly. This is not the early 2000s. This is not the late 90s. The audience will not respond to Yuta Okotsu as a main character. That's likely what some senior editor told him. And I think what I think Gege has used Yuta out of spite in the series, if you can follow that logic of it. Yeah, okay. The fact that okay. Because this is how you know Yuta was supposed to be the main character. Because the next character he made, one, looked exactly like Yuta, and two, was the same story all over. Like, Megumi's another Shinji Ikari analog, except he's Shinji Ikari and Sasuke mixed together. He's Sasuke with Shinji Ikari's motivation. LOL. I'm dead serious. Yuji was definitely an editorial. Yeah. And you can see it in how Gege treats him. But two, you can see it in the fact that, like, he's kind of, if you really, okay, let me put it this way. Does Yuji not feel like the character who's just, like, meant to be there? Like, he's just there to be there. Like, and I know this is, like, literally the text. The text, it's metatextual. But, like, doesn't Yuji just feel like you've got all these characters with such interesting abilities, such interesting techniques, but Yuji just feels like he's meant to be there. And when Yuji ends up getting powers, he's just a copy of the villain's powers. Doesn't that seem like just a character that was meant to be there, you know? While he tells a larger story, he just had his main... Bro, he Batmaned Yuji, where Yuji's the least interesting thing in his own story. And I think that's the if you want a real weakness of like, I'm not ever gonna, like, get on here and say JJK is bad, but if you want a real weakness of JJK, that's it. And that's the reason I tell people to start with JJK Volume 0. Oh, I'm not saying Yuji isn't lovable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Yuji isn't lovable, but him being lovable doesn't stop him from being the weakest part of his own series. Bruce Wayne is lovable. Bruce Wayne's the weakest part of the Batman stories. You get me? You know? So, I think if we just look at it from that lens, Gege should just make the Toji manga he really wanted to make. Ah, man. I mean, I think doing an unsorcerer story in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, would be very wacky. I will tell you that much. Because it would just be about a character like Toji or like Maki. And it would just be, it would essentially be, it would look a lot like Yuji. That's the funny thing, because the thing would be either them using cursed tools, some special cursed tool that set them up to fight, or just being able to throw heavy hands. And we've seen Yuji do both of those things. Remember that knife Yuji had? That got broken in his first mission? Remember we thought Yuji's main weapon was going to be like a combat knife? And then it got broken in his first mission. That was, JJK is hilarious, dog. It's such a hilarious manga. Okay. Let me actually download Guilty Gear. Let me download Guilty Gear now. Man, don't you love Google Fiber? 11 minutes. Don't you love Google Fiber? 10 minutes. Don't you love Google Fiber? It's saying 10 minutes and it's dropping down even further. Man, don't you love Google Fiber? Wait, is it a bad idea to download while I'm streaming? I don't care. It's probably gonna be fine. I mean, shit. Actually, that's ridiculous. Because if I can play online video games while I'm streaming, I should be able to. If I can stream online video games, I should be able to fucking download the damn game. So, gosh, oh gosh. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just being a simp on Twitter.com. Oh, wrong account. LOL. Damn. Time to delete the tweet. Thank goodness no one can see what I was just doing. Regardless. I'm so tired, but not in a physical sense, in the sense that I'm tired of not having Midori here next to me. Yeah. Of course, Nino's gonna be the type to code name his fucking girlfriend some Japanese shit, so it doesn't sound weird when he references her on a stream. Regardless, I'll be seeing you mostly on Twitter, mostly now. Yeah, because I'm mostly on Twitter in general. I should go to sleep, and this was a good thought. Everyone who needs to go to bed. It's the middle of the fucking week, and it's 2 a.m. So don't stay up for my don't stay up on my account. I do have a few things to do and talk about, but we'll get to that after the Guilty Gear is done downloading. Because I'm gonna try and whoop some people's asses on stream soon. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. I'm extremely out of practice. I am woefully out of practice. I should not act big and bad real quick. Please. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's check the chat again. Glad to have you back on the tube for now. I mean, I'm not joking when I say I'm back for good. Mainly because I have different motivations for doing this than I used to. I think I've made those motivations clear. Before I pass out, who's your Strive main? I need to judge you as a person. I main both Nagoriyuki and Johnny. Judge me. What do you think, Stardust Phantom? Who am I to you? After hearing those words. Nagoriyuki and Johnny. Nagoriyuki's the main, Johnny's in the pocket. I'm gonna be silent for a bit while I read something. So give me a little bit. Okay. I say you're a believer of fight. I made Nago and Sid. You made Nago. You're a full person. You're a full person. Thank God. Yeah, I know. I say you're a believer in fighting game character. A believer of fighting game characters. Yeah. I mean, like, people think now, like, okay, my thing is, simultaneously, they didn't need to nerf Nago as bad as he did because folks should have just gotten better at the game. But folks really should have just gotten better at the game because you can bait the point of fighting Nagoriyuki. And if you haven't figured, if you still haven't figured it out, if you still haven't figured it out of how to beat Nagoriyuki, let me tell you, the point of Nagoriyuki is to, when you're fighting him, is to bait his blood gauge, right? If you know how to play, there is no Nagoriyuki who can escape popping. And I'm telling it, we make it look like we can. Oh, trust me, we will make it look like we can. But if you know how to push us, none of us can escape popping. The problem is, if you're facing a real Nago, popping doesn't scare us. You get me? If you're facing a real Nago, popping does not scare us. A Senegalese won the Oxys Grand Tour. My day was made. Yeah, no. Black Africans who play Nago are insane. Like, you have to understand, it's either trans women who play Bridget or Africans who play Nago. And those are the niggas who are at the top of fucking Guilty Gear right now. Like, or white boy, or like an emaciated looking white boy who plays any of the waifus. Or Leffen, fuck that nigga. Anyway, ooh, wait. Sounds like 3 minutes left to download. Wow, Guilty Gear. Y'all heard when I started it, yeah. That was real time. It's crazy. Okay. Happy Chaos mains are crazy. Oh yeah, no. Also, the trans girls who play fucking Testament. Oh gosh. Like, I'll tell you, I don't fear Testament as a character generally. But in the hands of the kinds of people who go to tournaments, Testament is such a fucking is a hell to look at. I wonder if Trix is awake. See if she wants to cop on again. Oh gosh. Oh, you know what? Let me do some free advertising for something. Hold on. Is he on YouTube? Yeah, he's on YouTube. Yasuke, a lost descendant. Let's not do that yet. I don't want to show any of his development footage yet. I want to just look for like a good trailer. Fuck it. Anyway, y'all want to see the indie game I'm most looking forward to? Y'all want to see an indie game that you need to be fucking paying attention to? Let's take a quick peek at this.
So, you're the one that spoiled brat with daddy issues was worried about. Nobusaurus sent you then, huh?
And you are?
Kenny fucking Lawrence.
Once I was lost.
Is that a name we're supposed to know, or?
The one and only patriot of the West.
He's out of his damn mind.
Let me tell you a little story, Mr. Yasuke.
I really don't care.
Yeah, I like patriots. But really killing man to man, arms to weapons, that's what kept me on. But how lucky I was to get an invitation for...
He needs to do some optimization, but the animations are looking clean.
Oda gave me a gift.
Just a little bit more time, a little bit more polish. This is looking like a classic, bro.
Time for me to get in on the fun.
Honestly,
We're not yet strong enough for Oda. This is still our step forward. So I would let someone like you get in my way.
yeah, of course it fucking has soul. So, I actually was DMing this guy. I was DMing this guy on Twitter the other day, and I told him directly, I'm trying to get the idea in his head to make a Screw the Omega game, because I feel like a potential collaboration between me and him could definitely go somewhere. Like, he's got the eye. He's got the eye for quality and the mindset to get this kind of thing done. You get me? And I think that's really all I could ask for from somebody who I would want to work with. I'm very much interested. And you know what, yeah? He's a fellow London. I don't know if he's from London, but he's a fellow Black Brit. Someone said, yo, hashtag that crowd is gonna come after this game. Who gives a fuck? Why are we bringing that crowd up for anything? Who cares? Who gives a fuck about fuck him? Fuck him. Fuck him. No, for real though. Like, fuck him. Like shit, man. Who cares? Are there any other indie games I want to fucking give a boost to? Oh, y'all want to see something crazy?
What's up, everyone?
Alright, y'all want to see something crazy? Watch the pre-disc.
First and foremost, I must say that Mega Man Zero, both the character and the franchise, is the property of Keiji Inafune.
Yeah, we get that part. We get that part.
It's
yeah.
Mega Man
Look.
Zero. The Mega Man Zero games are some of my favorite games from the entire Mega Man franchise. So much so that over a decade ago, I attempted to make my own Mega Man Zero fan game using Adobe Flash, because Flash games were all the hype back then. Jeez, Keely, way to show your age, man. Anyway, I never finished that project, and I've always wanted to go back and take another swing at it. So here we are, but that's enough rambling, let's get to it. It's a new year, and I'm trying to get into better habits when it comes to working on projects, which means, you guessed it, time for documentation. I kind of kept things short and sweet this time around because I wasn't sure exactly where this project was going to go. And because of that, what even am I going to cover in this video? After planning things out, I decided that the scope of this project would be a single level with a boss fight at the end. This video is going to cover setting up Zero. That includes obtaining and rigging the model, setting up movement mechanics, and finally his attacks. I was very excited to begin working on this, but I absolutely needed to establish the scope of this project, and more importantly, the scope of these devlog videos. Otherwise, I will be working on it forever. I used a sandbox project I created a few months ago as my starting point, and with that, I'd like to introduce Sam. She's the test character in the sandbox project. Sam is set up with some basic movement mechanics, combo attacks, and some attacks from other popular games.
LOL.
Sam is OP. However, this project ain't about Sam. Sorry, Sam. She'll be back. Now, I'm not a 3D modeler, and I really don't want to spend hours upon hours of creating my own Zero model, so the one that I used was ripped from a game called Mega Man X Dive. This made things a bit easier, but there was still an issue. The model wasn't rigged. For those who don't know, a rig is what allows the model to be animated.
the fact that he just admitted that, if the Capcom ninjas find him, they're gonna use that ground. They're gonna use the grounds of that to come after him. But let's continue.
Essentially like bones. Actually, that's exactly what they are. So I got to work on rigging the model in Blender. Well, I would have, except I forgot how to rig. Correction. So I got to work following YouTube tutorials for an hour or so to relearn how to rig in Blender. Then I got started rigging Zero's model. I spent some extra time on the hair because I wanted to be able to add physics to it later.
Smart man.
Eventually, I got it all set and Zero was imported into Unity. With the
Imagine
model done, the
Zero's
next step
head
was to
not
integrate
having
him into the
fucking
Sandbox
physics.
project by replacing Sam. Once I got Zero some fresh animations and a new shader, I gave him his iconic Z-Saber. I even set up an animator for the saber extending and retracting. Oh, and that hair I spent some extra time rigging, completely worth it. I used an asset from the asset store called Jigglebone, interesting name there, to achieve the physics effect on the hair.
Oh, bro, we're in a new
Now
era.
that he was added in, Zero was
We're
ready
in a
to
new
have some
era
new
of
features.
video game
The first is
development.
dash.
The
Replacing
stuff.
Sam's rolling
So
animation was
let me actually just say this: like the stuff Unity. Let me move my mic to my face. The stuff Unity, the stuff Unreal 5, the stuff the engines that are within our grasp can do now, and the things we're able to put in them, it requires less work. It requires less work, right? How can I put this? It requires less work to make something that looks like something we played on the PS2 than it did like 10 years ago. And it requires less work to make something that looks like it's competitive with what we would call AAA games than the studios are telling you it does. That much I can tell you for a fact. I'm not going to point to any like specific game examples. Y'all already know some specific game examples of studios that have the same fucking productive capacity as an indie, but have been able to crank out games that are indecipherable from something that you would describe as AAA. And that's all been possible because nowadays anyone can literally just, as you're like, okay, the stuff this guy is doing in this video, you used to need like $20,000 before you wanted to think about doing it. To access a database of like pre-made, to access a database of pre-made 3D models, right? Like that Zero model in and of itself would have cost like $1,000 to make. But the fact that the internet exists in a way where people are ripping models out of games and you can download, like, we live in such a beautiful time. There are beautiful things about the future. I'm trying to remind y'all that there are beautiful things
all
about
fine
the
and
future.
good, but if you look at the original games, Zero also has a trail of after images following him whenever he does a dash. I set these up by making clones of Zero's game object during a dash animation and remove unneeded components like the rigid body and scripts on those clones. I also added a shader to create a hologram effect, as well as created a script that would make the holograms fade and despawn after a certain amount of time. Also, like the original game, when Zero dashes while midair, he moves forward while ignoring gravity.
And
he can
let
only
me
perform
actually make
air
one.
dash before
Let me
making contact
also.
with the ground.
So, man, I don't know if I want to like. I do want to talk about games for a bit, but I want to pause this for a bit because we get the idea. He's making a. Actually, I wanted to show you this, and then I also wanted to show you this. That like this is that's where he was. This is where he is now.
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back!
What up, peeps? Hope y'all doing well. We're back.
Yeah,
with
this is
another
where
one,
he is
and
now.
If you've been tuning into the streams, you already know that this is going to be a combat-centered devlog. You also know that things don't always go as planned. In this stretch of the project, I had quite a few things planned for this build, but due to time constraints and the fact that life be lifing, I had to cut some things short. I had a whole list of things to work on, but unfortunately I just couldn't get to them all before this devlog needed to go up. But with that said, a lot of progress was made nonetheless, and I was able to take care of some of the things I really wanted to work on. Let's start with some of the changes. First, I tweaked Zero's vaulting and added new animations. I decided to remove the front flip to be used for something else later. The action itself plays out faster and doesn't disrupt Zero's momentum as much as it used to, but I think it could still be improved a bit. The wall climb animation has also been updated using a different climb animation as well as using the front flip animation mentioned before once Zero reaches the ledge.
Do
There are
y'all
actually
think
2 flips
Hi-Fi
that play at
Rush is
random. Next,
okay?
in the
Actually,
original game-
because Hi-Fi Rush brings me to a very man. Do you want to know why the game industry is going through what it's going through? Well, actually, it's not, I would love to say this was a Western problem, but it's really not. It's a problem with every fucking studio right now. Every studio's doing this. So I can't even try and make it a Western problem. You know why the game industry is doing what it's doing right now? Why all the studios are behaving the way they're behaving? Why video games have been weird and sucky for so fucking long, right? Let me tell you the production ethos in video games. And this is a production ethos that exists basically in every every capitalist enterprise, every enterprise where shareholder capitalism. Every company that has shareholders is operating like this. And I'll explain to you exactly what I'm talking about. Video game budgets are balloon expensive. Very massive right now. Right? That's no one necessarily needs them to be that way, but because there's a lot of like middlemen and a lot of like marketing execs doing bullshit, they need their budgets to be that big. That's one thing. So because these budgets are ballooning into 100 millions, there becomes a cost benefit analysis that comes into play. Whereas that concerns video games and their sales. And this is the cost benefit analysis that has branded many games you love and thought were successful and thought actually did do well as far as sales. That this is a factor that like a lot of y'all probably never thought applied to the games you cared about. This is how video games are judged as failures or not failures in the industry right now. They are judged in the sense of, if the money that we used to make this game could have been invested in the stock market and yielded a larger return than what the game made in the same amount of time, that game is a failure. Are you catching what? So let me say it in monkey terms. Say you had $250 million. Sorry, let's use million. $250 million. That's about the budget of a game like Final Fantasy VII remake or Rebirth, right? If you invest that money into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and when all said and done, the sales of that game do not translate to vastly more than you taking that money and investing it in the stock market, as far as investors are concerned, the game was a failure. That mindset, my people, has killed basically every modern studio that has died in video games. Every modern game that had a very good reception but still was not able to garner a sequel, now you know the reason why. Now you know the reason why. I think that's like the most depressing truth of like video games right now, dog. And like, I mean, because when we say, when us lefty types make the argument of like, oh, capitalism is what's ruining everything, I like to sit with y'all and tell you how. Like, not everyone understands how exactly. Not everyone understands the specific ways, because like, I don't really need to say anything else, really, right? Do I really need to expand on that point that I just made? Do I? Because like, already you know already it's starting to make sense. All the wrong-headed decisions being made, all the fucking cost cutting, all the fucking padding in games now, all the fucking lowest common denominator shit, all the endless focus group, focus testing ass fucking built by committee ass design that everything's going with now, right? All the superhero games, all the Star Wars games. These folks don't trust video games as a medium. They don't really care about video games as a medium. They don't care about anything as a medium, LOL. They care about money. And this is not news to any of y'all. At least it shouldn't fucking be. This is basic. But at the same time, caring about money, cause how do you even argue with that? When I hear that, now I understand why folks quit. Because when that's the when that's the logic, how do you even explain? Because I guarantee you that's the same mindset niggas is using for anime. At some point, maybe not the production committees. Actually, I can't even lie. Maybe, the production committees in Japan. And not just them, but definitely the Western distributors. Everything led by shareholders is in this mindset right now of, if we put the money in the stock market, would it have yielded a higher return? And the simple answer is, who fucking cares? We need, the money was used to make a piece of art, and it was used to make a piece of media that will yield us returns in the longer run. But these niggas don't care about the longer run. You get what I'm saying? They don't care about the longer run. They don't care about if shit functions and is able to produce a profit 60 years from now or 10 years from now even. They care about this quarter and next quarter. And that's one of the reasons we're back. Y'all hear me do this fucking... This has been kind of the refrain ever since I've started doing streams again. I've in the 2 streams I've done since I started again. That, we're back and we have a purpose now. I want that purpose to be clear. Because I'm not saying... Because, again, I'm talking about video games. But what I'm saying applies, I'm telling you, I'm not just concerned about anime. I'm concerned about Japanese otaku media. I'm concerned about weeb shit. And I'm tired of pretending anime is all Japan makes. I'm tired of pretending as a anime-focused YouTuber, that's all I need to care about from Japan. So that's why we're having a little diatribe to discuss video games today. One of the reasons, let's actually get into some video game talk, because I have some interesting ideas that I don't think people have ever considered about discussions of video games, and this does feed into neo-otakuism a little bit. So for those of you who like it when I go into that bag, don't worry, I've got new jokes for you. New jokes meaning new theories. So, y'all remember watching G4? Didn't it always feel like fucking pulling teeth whenever they had to cover a Japanese game. I'm not talking about like Mario or Zelda. You know, those are the Japanese games that are okay to like. Much like how Studio Ghibli is okay to like if you're an anime fan, LOL. But like, I'm talking about whenever they would cover literally anything that today is discussed as like a real classic or like a real thing people like. And they would often dog these games out for their Japaneseness, right? For how weird they were. I think when I look back on my youth and I remember the reasons and the stuff that was in my head when stuff like Gamergate was going on. I really wonder back then, what was it about that movement that grabbed me? Why was I so ready to believe negative thoughts about Western game journalists? Why was I so willing and ready? And you know what? I've told people this, and I think I am onto something here. If you remember how Western game journalists would talk about Japanese games back around 2013, 2014, if you remember that time, right? It was all just a bunch of Orientalist mess. Orientalist xenophobic fucking mess. Right? Oh yeah, Cinematech. I remember them. They were I remember Cinematech. But like they were the only one, like you said, they were the only ones who kind of embraced Japanese culture, even when they were kind of like even they would be kind of widget about it a bit, but they were better than the regular G4 show. They were better than Jeff Keighley and all them. You get me? Like I will hold you there. But at the same time, there was always one show, right? But I guarantee you, even within the ecosystem, they were the anime guy. They were, oh yeah, he's the man around Japan. He's the one we go to for that. Because God forbid they sully their hands touching the fruit of the bug people. Ugh, we don't like anything Asian around here. No, thank you. We only like we prefer dignified video games. Thank you, like Call of Duty, and The Last of Us, and Uncharted. And God of War. Those are the kind of games that we purvey. No, absolutely not. None of your Japanese nonsense. No, never. Oh, the thought, perish the thought. Absolutely dreadful. These otaku are invading our adult entertainment space, and they think they can talk about anime. And samurai and all sorts of rubbish. Ugh, nonsense. We're going to give them 7s out of 10 for their classics, of course. God Hand, what's that? Ugh, that's a control system that makes absolutely no sense. We're going to give them a 3. How about that? Monster Hunter, please. Ugh, there's no lock on. What kind of game design do you think we allow in these halls? Absolutely not. In Japan, you're going to have to fix up your act if you want to be taken seriously by the big dogs around here. And they took that mindset and ran with it. Japan did. And it made their game suck. And I was here as a late teenager, observing all of that, having all of that in my mind when I saw all of these decisions be made, right? Watching a video game scene I genuinely loved and cared about be raked over the coals for not being stuff I hated. And we got a chance to get one back at him, bro. We got a chance to make their lives difficult for a while. Yeah, there were Nazis. Sure. There's Nazis everywhere on the internet. There's Nazis in every fandom. But the moment we knew that there was something fishy going on about video games in general, there was what I'm trying to illustrate is that there was a whole generation of other folks like me who weren't really political at the time. All they cared about was the things that made them happy. And they wanted to be left in peace to enjoy their Japanese media. And that included anime and that included video games. But guess who was coming along to tell them the things they liked were somehow of ill repute? You had these liberal journalists, and guess what? I'm calling them liberals because that's what they fucking were. These liberal, white, fucking cracker-ass, Eurocentric fucking gaming journalists who couldn't wait to big up the next David fucking Cage mess or fucking what else? Who couldn't wait to big up the next disgusting foray into Oscar bait mediocrity like The Last of Us, but would have all the smoke for Suda51, but would have all the smoke for some random fucking action game that would dare show like a fucking female character with a little panty shot because it was based on anime. Y'all remember the way Dragon Crown, that game, like, bro, y'all remember Dragon Crown? Bro, Dragon's Crown, dog. Like, folks treated that like it was Kuma bait. Let's just go, like, let's look. Like, yeah, they've got designs that look like this, right? But at the same time, look at the way the rest of the game looks. Like, the rest of the game is also just a fantastical, like, they made this one design caused the discussion on that game to reveal so much xenophobia, bro. I can't start today, G. Like, bruv. I have to tell me this is misogynistic. Are you mad? This is feminism, nigga. The fuck you talking about? Anyway.
Get him up, let him get up.
Sorry. I hope I'm making sense with this rant. Because exactly. I hope I'm making sense with this rant because what I'm trying to fucking convey is that Gamergate wouldn't have happened if the journalists did their jobs better. It honestly didn't have that much to do about ethics. It had more to do about, like, just not being stupid, being more well-rounded, being more open to different vibes of video games. Because what annoyed me about the 7th generation of video games, which like, I actually need to do a whole discussion on how the 7th generation of video games culminated in Gamergate. Like, all of the frustration and garbage and crap that people hated about video games culminated right when the 8th generation started. Because, like, bro, is it not making sense? Like, I blame the closet turfs and swerves. I mean, there's them too. And back then, they had a lot of primacy on the internet. Back then, the closet turfs and swerves, like them type of feminists, you get me? Them sex negative feminists. Like, the sex negativity has kind of moved its way down a generation. Like, it's the Zoomers who are more on that wave now. But they learned it. That sex negativity was a learned behavior from Tumblr feminism that dominated that era. And we all love Tumblr. Don't get me wrong. Hella bad bitches on Tumblr. But the mindset of carceral feminism, the mindset of like short-sighted social justice is what set back online leftism so badly. Because that was the root of where online left-wing politics was driven from. Tumblr. And that's not the place it should have been driven from. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna speak. I'm honestly going to speak to the generation of left-wing voices before me and say they dropped the ball on the early internet badly. Like, the niggas who are like 50 who were on the internet in like 2003, 4, 5, and who were like left-wing, they dropped the ball horribly. Badly. Had there been more openly left-wing voices in the video game and like anime space that weren't liberal voices, left-wing voices, voices that didn't like scare the boys, so to speak. I don't know how to put that. Cause like in the same way shit can scare the hoes, you can scare the boys. And it doesn't necessarily mean that like, how can I put this? Because when I say that, folks are gonna imagine that like, oh, so you mean you have to be misogynistic and anti-woman to create a space where men feel comfortable talking about leftism? No, that is ridiculous. Please, do you think I tolerate that in my chat? Do I tolerate that shit in y'all? No. My point is quite simple. It's that like there's a way folks let left-wing ideology look in the late 2010s, actually mid 2010s, because the late 2010s is when shit started to shift. But like there's a way folks allowed left-wing ideology to look in the mid 2010s, and I feel like it wouldn't have gotten that way if like folks didn't cede all of like the momentum and like zeal for like political change to white women. I'm so sorry I had to bring it there, but that's really it. Like, I'm sorry if it was like a black lady or a black dude who tried to pull the feminist frequency thing, right? Who tried to tell the boys that like, hey guys, there's a way we look at girls in media. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. And I know this is not gonna sound nice to people, but it's a fact of life that I was actually taught by a woman, my mother. And I've heard this be espoused by only one other person. And ironically, it's Joe Budden, LOL. He's the only person who said the same phrase. I don't know where this phrase comes from insofar that he's the one who's... Anyway, the phrase is simply this. There are 3 shoulds you should ask yourself before you say anything at any time. Should it be said? Should it be said right now? And should it be said by me? A lot of the time, it shouldn't be said. A lot of the time, it should be said, but it shouldn't be said right now. A lot of the time, it should be said right now, but it shouldn't be said by you. And even if it should be said by you, there might be a better voice than you to say it. And if none of those exist, then maybe you say it. I follow that rule to a T. I follow that rule in life to a T. And I think that for Anita Sarkeesian, only the first 2 shoulds applied to her. I think that's the reason. If y'all want a reason why shit went the way it did back in the mid 2010s, it was because it should have been said, and that was the time it needed to have been said. But a vast majority seeing that voice, that person saying it, was not going to get anywhere. You know who should have said it? Somebody at G4. You know who should have said it? Somebody at IGN. You know who should have said it? Some YouTuber who was popular back then. It should have been somebody within the community. You know why? Because when you have a feminist critic who, and I don't care how many games she played as a kid or how many, like, it didn't require a person who just like, when you're doing what Anita Sarkeesian was trying to do, and let me tell you something, the gravity of what she was trying to do needed to be said and needed to be done. But when you're doing when you're doing something, the gravity of that, you cannot look like a tourist. Because once you do, what happens. There is an invaluable currency to being able to speak a leftist dialogue, to being able to speak a feminist dialogue while still being able to retain nerd credibility, while still being able to retain like counter deep online culture credibility. Because if not, you're just looking like somebody there to preach, and nobody fucking likes being preached to. That's if you want a reason that critiques that era without hopping into, oh, it was a bunch of misogynists. Because guess what? It's easy to do that. It's easy to look at somebody trying to say the right thing and a bunch of people lashing back. Somebody who's feminist and actually plays games has more gravity than a tourist that thinks Bayonetta is sexist. Thank you, Stardust Phantom. You were able to very much succinctly put my point into practice. Like, that is very clear and concise. Because, yes, you do have more value. That's the reason why, like, I don't like being the guy who says how women should approach like political activism. So I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, wouldn't it be nice? And then I'm going to say what I want, what I think would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if one of these multiple, like, extremely famous and like very well-known VTuber, cosplayer, whatever, gamer girls, fucking Nekomimi wearing ass bitches, wouldn't it be cute and great if they tried to teach their audience about some feminist theory through the lens of video games, right? And not try to make it seem like a lecture and make it fun and interesting to people? Wouldn't it be great if, like, instead of making an example of every person who accuses somebody of being a tourist, you kind of just prove you aren't. Instead of being mad you got quizzed, you just fucking shut them down by knowing more. And the thing is, the ones who do already do this. The ones who don't match. The ones who don't, I already know why you don't. You don't because you got here. I won't even say not because you're a real nerd, or not because you're really into the counterculture you currently use to line your pockets. I will say that, like, the reason you don't openly advocate most of these things and only use these things as a means to virtue signal when it's convenient, and don't build platforms out of educating people or out of, like, trying to fix the deep misogyny problem in video game culture, which could be addressed if any of these booby streamers, like, I don't know, spent time, like, read some bell hooks while you're in the hot tub, LOL. I don't know, bro. I'm just saying. I'm saying it. So many of these very clear real nerd girls who are making money off being hot and sexy,
who are feeding into the dynamics and paradigms that created Gamergate and Anita Sarkeesian in the first place. It would be nice if folks knew better. What's people saying in the fucking comments? Somebody with more info would have made our arguments better, and people have. Yeah, no, people. Why do you think I'm able to say this? Because I've heard her arguments be made better by people who actually care about video games. I trust someone like Wooly more than someone white, more than some white women who play video games and say Sims sometimes. I mean, yeah. Agreed, a lot of the worst gatekeepers are usually the loudest about wanting to be said gatekeepers of the scene. I'm not a gatekeeper. You get me? I don't have any power in the scene to gatekeep anything. All I can gatekeep is the information in my brain. And I don't even do that. You know? All I can gatekeep is the information in my brain, and I don't even do that, because if I did, I wouldn't be on stream right now. So, with that being said, it should be clear now where a lot of like the divergent points, like for those of y'all who've been following the narrative I've been trying to weave, right? And some of y'all have been. Some of y'all are hopping in and out because I'm doing these at ridiculous times. But for those of y'all who've been catching some of the narrative, like, yeah, there is a better way. There is a better way. There's a better way. There's always been a better way. We just ignored it. Someone says if you're a nerd but have some social self-awareness, you hide your power level and suggest some stuff to women who are interested in that. So, I mean, I just agreed a lot. Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at comments right now. I don't do that. LOL. I do not hide my power level. But I also, I don't hide my power level. I lie. That's the difference. Like, okay. Hiding your power level means pretending you don't like anime as much as you do. I pretend. Here's what I pretend, and this is what I mean by I gatekeep the information. I can only gatekeep the information in my brain. I pretend that I'm very enthusiastic about anime, like I love anime, but then I pretend that I only watch shonen and only know about certain things that like mainstream people. Oh man, Demon Slayer is like my favorite, bro. Oh, I love Naruto. I watch that all the time, bro. Bleach is like my classic favorite, innit? Yeah, I do that. I'm not gonna let anyone know that I fucking like Mitsuo Iso. Y'all ain't gonna know how much I like the Hakenden. LOL. Y'all ain't gonna hear nothing about Peacemaker Kurogane from me. Please, you get me? I'm not gonna open my mouth and tell you about how much I've actually seen. If I'm flirting in amongst people who like anime, that's not hiding your power level. That's just lying. Your power level is intact. You still behave like you love anime. You still behave like you're a big weeb. Just you lie. Because guess what? Nobody ever wants to be the one who knows the least. So I never make people feel that way. Especially in America. Especially, like, y'all make a big deal out of like, knowing stuff. Which is wild, because barely any of you know anything. Like, it's so paradoxical that, like, in America, people make a big deal about people knowing information when none of you know anything. It's hilarious. Regardless, though. Yeah, I just pretend I don't know the shit I know. And I've made a lot of friends that way. And then, like, halfway through the relationship, I'll be like, yeah, I was lying. I know more about anime than you. Like, I was just joking. It's a way I make friends. And then usually they're just like, oh, fucking wow. I was like, yeah, I used to do YouTube. And they're just like, oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, I don't bring it up because it's weird to try and it's weird to try and make friends that way. I tried to make friends with the I used to do YouTube thing.
and most of the friends I made were weird. So now I just do the other thing, and then now I know some really cool folks who know a lot more about anime now because of me. The only people I come in guns blazing to are fellow like 4 hiki neats. Like if I can tell that you're of the tribe, that you've seen stuff, then I won't lie. You know, I won't behave that way. That's one of the reasons I like Midori so much, because she's like the first girl in like years that I've not had to pretend any bit of myself to, bro. That's crazy. Y'all need to find yourself something like that, because it's the only way you're going to keep yourself sane in this life. Like, if y'all want to do the whole casual thing, where you talk to girls you don't really care about, yeah, lie. No, like lie your ass off. Always. If you don't like a girl, lie. LOL. Okay, that's not fair. If you don't see yourself marrying a girl, lie. Like, through your fucking teeth. Everything you say should be some kind of fabrication. You don't, because at the end of the day, you don't want this person, but you want something from this person, so lie. I'm not saying that's ethical. You're being an evil bastard. I will teach you how to be an evil bastard, but I want you to know that you are going to be an evil bastard, and you will go to hell. So, but if that's what you want, lie. But if you want a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship with somebody, yeah, no. First, you have to find somebody who you can tell the truth to, and then you tell the truth until they're with you. But most of the time you lie, because most people aren't worth telling the truth to. Anyway, let's see what the fucking chat's saying. So if they build Glumpa, play good action games, and they're not racist, you can cut loose. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But everyone else, you lie. If all they watch is like, if all they've seen is like Fruits Basket and like Attack on Titan, and they've got a bunch of fucking Neko Mimi headphones that were paid for by fucking simps, you lie. You lie to get what you want from those ones. But if she's a real one and she's got like good taste and she's like a down-to-earth human being and doesn't talk like fucking Twitter memes, yeah, that's a person you can interact with. But all the other ones you lie to. Bro, we are out of the nice guy era. I hope y'all are aware of this. Please, gentlemen, don't hurt anyone but lie. Don't do anything to anybody to where they don't have full consent of what they're doing, but lie. You can read between the lines here. Y'all are educated. Y'all are intelligent people. Sometimes it's important to know how and when to lie. It's just like knowing how and when to pirate an anime. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough Nino love advice. Cause as you can already see, I'm not gonna give you the game that like these other niggas. I'm a leftist. Don't get that twisted. I am a leftist. I love communism. I love the workers seizing the means of production. That is what I live for. I live for the JDPON, right? I live for unlimited genocide on the You get me? I live for all of that. But when it comes to interpersonal relationships as mediated in the Western world, as mediated in the modern, especially if you live in like a European / American country, lie. There's literally that, like, bro, okay, we're already, okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, your goal is to dismantle patriarchy. The goal in general is to dismantle patriarchy. But if you meet a girl and her behavior is showing you that she's not on dismantling the patriarchy in her own heart, but she's hot enough for you to want to interact with, lie. That's how you deal with it, dog. Like, if she's toxic and on some like toxic feminine type shit where she feeds in to patriarchal like bullshit but still expects you to like all that kind of foolishness, because we all know what that is, right? So yeah, if that's I'm not saying you should even interact with them ones if you don't want to. I'm saying when you do, don't be duplicitous. Be as duplicitous and two-faced as possible, because that's how you're gonna get the farthest with them ones, the toxic in the first place. Now, if you meet somebody who's genuine and that you like and that you like interacting with, save the game for the savings. I'm not. Look, listen. I'm not making a video about this. I feel like bringing this up because there's people watching, and I got to a point where I felt like I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, no, for real, it's really simple. Like, lie. It's learn to like lying, and I don't mean live in a lie. Never live in a lie. No. Learn to tell counter truths that don't sound crazy over long periods of time. I can't like fucking spit it out, because if I do that, there's people who are watching me who are then gonna start asking me questions. So I don't want to. I can't do that. I read if you really need the game for a goal, rewind what I said and listen again, because I left it in there. Anyway, we're off this topic now. Yeah. So we've gone through everything. Boutique anime is basically the filter dictating not just what anime get released from Japan, but literally what anime are made. That's what boutique is. It's just the filter creating anime. There's a lot of potential in the video game space that the AAA market isn't ever going to make use of. So therefore, the AAA market deserves to die, in my opinion. Man, I've been on for 2 hours. I think it's about time I should dip. Let me check if Midori is awake. Yeah, no, she's definitely asleep. I'm so fucking... I shouldn't have streamed. I should have stayed offline and talked to my girlfriend, dog. I should have stayed offline. But Lane was calling me. Anyway, lie about anime but not your character or intentions. It's simple. Thank you. You get it. Also, hella random, but were you ever gonna make that vid on trash taste? You had brought it up. Did I say? Yo, y'all trying to get me in trouble. Jesus, I did write that, didn't I? Let me actually go find it. Let's see. Let me actually go find it. Oh my gosh, I hate the gnats in here, dog. Like, fuck. What is this? Oh, this is Screw the Omega. Jesus. I could do a live read of that eventually, but not today. I'm so confused. Where the fuck did I put this fucking script? Oh, wait. Yeah. I wrote this. How far did I get? You know what? I did find it. Let me see. Did I actually? I folded some of these ideas into the otaku video. Into the Orientalism video. Now I'm remembering why I didn't. Yeah, the reason I didn't make this video is because I realized that it was more pertinent to make the Orientalism video first. And then I got stuck making the Orientalism video. I'm remembering my whole of last year now. LOL. It's crazy. I'll read out a part of the script. And I don't really care about how it comes across. I first started writing this video as a bit of a tantrum. I heard tell of a news story where Trash Taste fans were harassing an animator and my hands just hit the keyboard. Don't worry, we'll talk about Trash Taste later. We won't. But beforehand, I think it's important to clarify what I mean by the title of this video. And the title of the video is There Is No Anime Community. Yeah. Sure, there are communities around certain anime, but the medium as a whole has grown to a size where now the phrase I'm into anime means I like the anime I've seen. Whereas back when I was a youth, I'm into anime was shorthand for I'm an otaku. Now that's a word we need to spend some time on. The social politics around the word otaku, while exhausting, are the bedrock of Japanese consumption dynamics. Otaku, for the purposes of this video, shall be defined thusly: a person with an affinity for Japanese consumer culture to the point where the idiosyncrasies of that culture present in art and media are understood within their context. That's an important definition. It's an important operative definition to go with. In this era of direct-to-streaming consumption, a lot of anime is being watched by people who aren't exactly aware of what they're watching. Back in the day, an easy way around this was translator notes, but the cool kids table of anime pundits all watched that Otaking video over a decade ago and decided doing anything fun with translations was old hat. I'm not even going to start the debate on the current state of anime subtitling, nor will I rehash anything I already said concretely in my Sony by and Crunchyroll video, which is unfortunate because judging by the numbers, you most likely didn't watch it. Go change that. Yeah, please go change that. The point is, anime fan culture is prone to more misinformation now than it has ever been. I've had people telling me Trigger made Gurren Lagann for years, and before you get pedantic, don't even start. Misinfo has always been a big part of the English-speaking anime discourse, because when dealing with a medium primarily made by and for Japanese people, you're bound to come across things that get lost in translation, or worse yet, get misrepresented to suit people's arguments. And I think that's as far as I got. Yeah, I think that's as far as I got. Everything else is in the Orientalism video. Everything else after that point of where I was thinking wound up in the Orientalism video, and you'll see that soon, hopefully. Jeez. Did everyone catch that? Did everyone get what I was talking about? I wrote that last year, and it's still true now. LOL. I should probably finish this one. Really. It's an easy one to finish. This does fit into the whole, killing anime YouTube thing. Man. Yeah, that tidbit aged rather well. Right? Oh my god. Like I said, I quit this shit. And every time I showed, sometimes I wouldn't even show people. Sometimes I would just be there and folks just stop playing my shit. Because they're like, yeah, no, someone told me da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, sure, whatever, play one. And then they see it. And I don't like this to sound like I'm getting an ego about myself. Because, I have an ego about myself regardless. I didn't quit because I didn't have an ego about myself. No, that's not why I quit. I quit because I didn't like it anymore. I quit because I thought it was pointless. I quit because even though I knew I was the shit, I didn't think anyone else cared. And then people watch the shit I watch the shit I make, and I realize it's not about me. It's never about me. It's not about me at all. Like, that's when I have to learn to let go of my ego when it comes to the things that have to do with me. Like, I'm very good at letting go of my ego when it comes to things that don't have to do with me, because that's very logical to do. But when it has to do with me and my person, it's a bit dodgy. I have to see myself outside myself is quite difficult. But it's something you need to know how to do if at any point in your life you've been a semi-public figure. And upon doing that, I realized, this is not about me. Like, there needs to be somebody well-read, enthusiastic about anime, and black talking about this shit and in this space. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter how I feel about making this content. It doesn't matter how I feel about the people here making the stuff here. I have to be here. Not for them. Not for anyone but y'all. And the other people who don't necessarily know about this space yet, who will soon. Who've been needing this space. Because I get it, dog. Like, the way the internet is now, it makes normal people feel fucking crazy. It makes people with any lick of empathy and morality feel like they are chumps. And I'm tired of the good guys feeling that way. Aren't y'all? Aren't y'all? I'm tired of the good guys feeling like they're losing. So even if it's just for a few hours on a stream, feeding into our otaku delusions together, or whenever I drop a video, expressing my chuny madness through a psychoanalytical lens and a media consumption lens, I feel like we should explore all of this together. And we should let this be our war. Because if I can inspire even one of y'all to join in on this madness, then yata, my bro. Then yata. Anyway, I've been your host, Nino, aka Q-Ray, aka the Hot Take Intellectual, Human Live Stream Machine, the Nigerian Dondada, Lil Heart Attack, Iyasutoku Ganja, Hattori Trapping Out the Bando, Young Man Says, hey gal, you gonna dub me? Alright, calm, your butt is anywhere. The Omega Architect, the Unkillable Uncancelled, the Night Skin Shinobi hidden in the leaf smoke, aka how has he not been signed yet? AKA that kid from Too Many Places to Count, Mr. Black and Platinum, AKA, most importantly, Just 9. Sayonara minasan. I very much am hoping y'all have a great time the rest of these few hours before y'all have to get back to wherever you need to go to in life. Go to bed, sleep. Oyasumi nasai, sayonara. Konkai wa owari desu. Uyo.